the word with y'all? I missed y'all. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's episode of 212 Podcast. I am your host, King Swab, a.k.a. Brian Gunn with the Blunt, a.k.a. Hemio L. Jackson, a.k.a. Call me what the fuck you want. Just make sure you like, comment, subscribe to that thing below. If you let me when you ready, then the world is yours. Oh, and this is the old school sample. I like this. I like the R&B shit.
Oh, he's tough.
Where's he from?
Boston, Mattapan. That's why I have
What part of Mattapan is he from?
He's from Elmont.
Oh, see, yeah. He's probably my little cousin or something. I gotta meet him.
Yeah, he's tough.
No, I like him. He's tough. That was Tell Me Something from BML JR, straight from the Mohegans, Mattapan, you know, straight from where the realists come from. But this episode, I got my OG Johnny Will up here, man, and my brother Hussein Wayne right here, bro.
Hussein.
How y'all doing, man?
Man, happy to be here.
Happy to be here for sure.
We really sit here with basketball royalty from the city of Boston, really. And I know y'all may not like to hear that, like, man, it's too many flowers, too early, but nah. You know, you've been my coach. Like, people don't know this is family too. This is family since before I was born.
Family.
In fact, like real family. Yeah. So Johnny was my coach since I was, 10, 11? That's when I first started playing with you? When I went to Mildred Ave?
Yeah, Matterhunt, yes.
Mildred
wasn't around.
Mildred wasn't around, yeah. You're right.
Let's keep it real.
You're right. We did start at Matterhunt.
It was dirt road. Dirt.
I had no jumper at all, and nigga, Johnny used to always make me go to that corner rim, like, nigga, you shoot here all day, nigga. I'm like, I can't even shoot with the team, nigga. You're shooting over here, my nigga.
So you make it.
Then my guy Dewayne, like, this has been my guy since we playing Matterhunt with fucking Johnny since we were little, and I matter like our family's tied in, like, it's like the world. Boston's so small, and we all just from Mattapan, so you know we done rubbed shoulders and played basketball and did whatever we did for years. But I'm really happy to get y'all up here. I've been trying to make this happen for like a month and a half right now, but I know y'all both busy men, got shit going on. But I'm gonna give y'all time to introduce yourself. Tell me what y'all got going on right now before we indulge into the 212 podcast.
Well, Coach Will, former Tech Boston, 2-time state winning champ, 3-time Triple Crown city champ.
You ain't bring the rings?
Nah, I didn't bring the rings.
It's acting too modest. Yeah. I don't like it.
I ain't flashy like that.
Bring the rings next time, man.
Currently the head coach of Brookline High School.
Clap that shit up.
That's it, man. Just here for the kids, man. 24 years in education. That's what I do.
I appreciate that. So Wayne, talk to me.
Dewayne, Coach D, Coach Dewayne. I'm really a coach. I know we'll delve into a little bit later, but because this guy right here, I'm at Brookline as well. Everywhere Johnny's been, I've been, and I think that's going to be the mission until I'm done coaching or something else. But I love the game. I've loved it since I was a kid. Obviously, me and you, Boopsy, we go way back from basketball through Johnny. So it's kind of a full circle moment for me. So it's just pretty dope.
Facts. I'm happy to get y'all up here, and it's like. Me and Wayne was supposed to kick off a basketball podcast, but some things happened where we couldn't make it happen. And this is the inaugural episode of the 212 podcast spinoff, As the Ball Turns. So as the ball turns, this will be a podcast series where we sit down with the legends from the city, because we have a lot of people from Boston that play basketball, play football, coaches that moved out of here or went somewhere else that we don't know their stories and don't get told enough. And I feel like with me having the platform that I have in this podcast where I got some ears and some eyes, I want to talk about my idols, the people I looked at growing up, the people who helped mold me to be the man I am today. So it's like I got to give those flowers to those that came before us. But we just talked about the background. What made you get decided into coaching kids?
Man, because everyone that plays ball have coaches, man, that sometimes weren't connected with the kids. Like, a lot of people can coach, but to make that connection with your players is different, right? It's a lot more than X's and O's, like, right? Because if you're a coach, you're a coach in life, like, right? Like, I'm teaching kids beyond the court, like, right? Like, basketball's a short window, right? Like, we'll keep it 1,000, all the way 1,000. We're not gonna lie. A lot of people are telling a lot of kids that they're Division I basketball players, and they're not. Like, right? Like, we have to be realistic with our kids and give them, like my grandfather would say, give them to where the goats can get it. Goats eat grass, so it has to be low to the ground. So you got to keep it real low, and you got to keep it honest with them, and you got to tell some kids like, listen, you may not play professional basketball, but you can be around basketball, right? Everything you do in life is team orientated, right? So if you can play sports, you can be a part of any big corporation or any big type of, you can start corporations because it's teams. Like, you know, you got a marketing director, you have someone that does all the merchandise and the purchase and the agreement. So it takes a team to run a company, and it takes a team to run a basketball player, right? Like, I may be the head coach, but without this man to the left of me, right, like, I wouldn't have any of my championships, right? Because at times he connected to the kids when I was hard. And I mean, I'm hard. I'm an asshole. I'm straight up.
Yeah, this nigga's he's bad.
Like I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I don't care who your father are. I don't care about your neighborhood. None of that shit makes a difference to me. If we're here and we're in this building and we're here to play basketball, that's all that matters. All of that is outside distractions. Honestly, I'm trying to take you away from that. Like, if you play for me, I'm trying to take you away from the streets. I'm trying to take you from your block, right? Like, so that you can be in a better space, right? So, like, he was great. He was instrumental. He can talk to them young kids. He listened to that dumb music that they listen to. He understand all that stuff that don't make no sense, like, you know, no lyrics.
Music be fire, by the way. Music is fire. It's been fire throughout the years.
Some bullshit, but
can't just always listen to Jadakiss and Jay-Z, but those are my guys too still.
Oh, whatever, man.
But that's just what it is, man. So I just want to give back. And I want to give back to my community. So,
but Wayne,
by doing that, that's why I'm here.
My fault for cutting you off. Wayne, as you, ex-basketball player, ex-football player, what made you pivot into like, all right, I want to help the youth out instead of, because this is one of the best basketball minds that I know that I have a conversation with. Jizz is like up there, but it's like I don't even conversate with Jizz about basketball. I ask questions. Me and Dewayne, we talk about sports. We both LeBron guys, shit like that. So we've always been on the same page. Watch your mouth up here. Watch your mouth up here on this podcast, all right? He's the best ever. So this man right here, I always like, from growing up, I'm like, yo, Dwayne's gonna be working for the Celtics or a trainer, doing something until he gets to where he gotta go. It's like, but what made you say, I wanna take this pit stop and help the kids first before I get to where I see myself?
I really just kind of emulated the people before me. And again, like, as much as Johnny gives me praise, the reason why I'm in coaching is because of Johnny, right? Like, so we all played from when we were younger. We played AAU, we played BBO. Wherever he took us, right, is what we played. And, you know, if you know Johnny, you know the biggest thing for him is loyalty. And there was a period of time where Johnny and I didn't just see each other. He was coaching, he was at West C, and I was at school. I was doing my thing. But I think we just reconnected in one summer, and he had asked me, he was like, yo, like, do you want to come and coach? And it was like, yeah, why not? And I literally remember, like, the exact kids and the exact tournament. I was up at Canton High School, and the rest is history. And he just took me under his wing. He groomed me, allowed me to make my mistakes, and just allowed me to be a better coach. And I always just wanted to be around the game, too. So I was just appreciative for that opportunity, and it's turned into, you know, what it is right now.
And that's dope to see because, honestly, since we were kids, like, Jizz had the Mattapan, the Vodka Bones. He had the team of the niggas that was good at basketball, but them niggas did not know how to listen. But around Jizz, it was like, yo, all right, Jizz, what you saying? Because Jizz was always personal to us. But it's funny when I seen you like working with him years ago, because I'm like growing up, I'm like, me and Dewayne used to give Johnny the hardest time. Even though we wasn't the toughest and the baddest on the team, we still get this nigga hardest time because like we was family with him, we knew him. It's like, all right, Jizz, we hear what you talking about, we ain't listen to you. But it's like we still listening to you, but we ain't listening to you. So it's like to see that come in a full circle and y'all get these championships and y'all padding the stat. Now y'all at Brookline, like I'm admirable of that, bro. This is kudos to y'all too, because that's dope shit to see. I'm happy to see that.
Yeah, but that's something that was, like they say, like Rome wasn't built in a day, right? Like we had to really take our lumps, and Johnny could speak to that a lot more. He was at Tech for a few more years before I was, but like we remember those bad times. We remember those long nights and coming home from 60-point losses and getting waxed or getting embarrassed in cities and shit like that. So people might know, you know, Tech Boston for what it is now, but it wasn't like that before. When it was Dorchester High, it wasn't worth shit.
Y'all built this shit, no ball. Y'all definitely did.
Dorchester wasn't a place to be. Like, And that's a part of coaching.
And it was
right?
more of a football school before you got there too.
Yeah, but that's just a part of the sports. Like when I took the job, it was funny because I was the darling of the city, right? Because I was getting cracked, 2-19. Every coach is calling me, yo, I got you, bro. This, that, and the other. And I'm just watching, and I'm just like, you don't understand, or maybe you do, maybe you don't understand, but I have a mind that works a lot differently from people. I have crazy OCD, so I'm very organized, I'm very neat, and I know I'm very determined, I'm disciplined, right? Like I've been doing things, I've been around smokes, been around things like, if you know my last name, you know my family, you know the history. I've never indulged in
The Williams from Mattapan Square, if you don't know them.
No. The Williams from Dorchester, off of Harvard Street.
Okay, my fault.
Yeah,
I remember your people living off of
Colorado.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, but I'm saying like I come from, my family was on the other side of things, and I stayed disciplined, like right,
For
like
sure.
I never want to jump into that because that shit was bullshit, like right, like when I was younger, it wasn't don't do drugs because Nancy Reagan said it. It's because I watched my cousin Slick, who in the 80s was that dude, was that motherfucker. And I was going in college, I was going to AA meetings and drug rehab programs, just supporting them.
Wow.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So to me, it was like, yo, don't do drugs. I see where you can be when you selling it, but I can see where you end up.
And that's
right.
And no bullshit, like Johnny, like, and you say that, and I take it full circle. It's like I'm watching you in my life for 30 years, 32 years. I've never seen Johnny pick up a drink, pick up a blunt, none of that shit. He's always himself, clear-minded, sober gangster, being Johnny Williams at all times. It's like, and I never put that 1 2 till you just said that right now. I'm like, damn, I've never seen you have a drink, none of that shit.
Yeah, no.
Weddings, OT, vacations, I've never seen you pick up a drink.
Because it's discipline, and that's the discipline I try to bring to the kids. Like, if you want something, like, it's okay to be square.
As I drink my sip of drink.
Like, right, like, it's okay to do something to not fit in that circle. Like, it's okay, like, if you love basketball, you love this, grades come first, right? Like, and what comes before grades, a lot of coaches don't say it, but it's character, yo. It's integrity.
Yeah.
Like, right, and there's not a lot of integrity in the sport.
Not at all.
Like, if we go into these further conversations, it's a lot of people using these kids as platforms to get
themselves bigger,
to get them where they want to go. And it's like with me, it's like integrity. There's a lot of kids behind the scenes that I dealt with, that I had a real involvement with, but you would never know because I don't post them on my Instagram.
Word.
I'm not calling them little bros. I'm not doing all that because
that little bro shit be getting to me.
Because I remember when they was fat and no one fucked with
like, you didn't even know this nigga last year, bro. Now he's got so much followers, and now y'all, that's little bro. I see that shit because, like, I know as a nigga I am in the city, I have always been a big bro to my little brothers. Always, not just Lyron. Everybody that's been around, everybody that you brought me around, every young player I'm like, all right, what can I do to help you? Because I know the mistakes that I made and why I'm not where I want to be in life. Mm-hmm. So how can I help you out? And it still is like, I know I take steps with these kids. It's like, all right, so what we doing here? What we doing here? Then it's like certain kids I see now, I'm like, where did these niggas come from to be calling these niggas little bro? And oh, they see where you headed and you really hopped on the train with niggas. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna hate on you nothing, but you know where the genuine love is at. It'll always be here. But a lot of niggas is here trying to make up these false relationships because of where they didn't get to in their life. So now they trying to piggyback and ride off these young niggas and this young wave, which I can't do. Like, niggas know I love my little brother. Lyron, he's the illest nigga to me. But still, when I have this conversation, little nigga, I'm not ready to pass these range yet. Yeah. When I'm ready for it, I'm ready. You focus on your lane, I'm gonna focus on mine. When we get there. But what you need from me, I'm gonna give to you 100%. But I'm no nigga to move out my way yet. But anything I can do to put you in, you're here. Yeah. And that's why it's like some people come to me and they be like, yo, I really find it weird when they be like, yo, I'm proud of the way you deal with your little brother. I'm like, yo, how you proud? This is simple shit. This is a father saying I'm taking care of my kids. You don't get credit for that shit. You don't get credit for trying to make someone better for you that is connected to you. And that's what I feel like there's only a few of us as big brothers do to these little bros, to these younger youth out here, and y'all are definitely too callous like that. I remember when, like, yo, I'm in we went down to DC. I'm not gonna bring his name, but there was one kid on the team who he thought he was the toughest nigga in the world, and him and Johnny would go back and forth all the time, and this kid was a jokester, but Johnny would let him get to him like, yo, I had to bring him to him like, yo, bro, you know, any other team you will not be playing, them niggas will kick you off. You gotta but Johnny talking like what yo pussy, bro. He's telling you what you are, bro. You're not gonna do nothing to him. Oh, yeah. No, bro, you can't say that. Why? You're not gonna do shit to me, bro. So I'm gonna tell you what Johnny on here. You're a pussy, bro, compared to Johnny. Stop being tough with him, because he really will put get somebody put hands on you. Yo, you can't talk to me like that, bro. I really fuck with you. So if you fuck like that, you gotta respect with Johnny like that, because that's who I look up to. And niggas like, you know what, you right, my fault, bro. And I don't know how that relationship transpired, but I know when I see anybody ever try to go back with you, I'm like, nah, nigga, you're not gonna talk to Johnny like that, because that's the wrong person. Because that nigga makes sure he takes his time. I know Dewayne, he might want to put his hands on them little niggas half the time, and it's like, you know what, Dewayne, do what you gotta do.
But you know what it is, when we do that and they get upset, it's frustration. It's because the lack of knowledge and knowing what I'm really trying to get them to achieve.
Exactly.
So it's just a frustration. It's just like being in the classroom. The kids that give the teachers the most trouble, it's not that they can't learn, that they don't want to learn.
My ADHD used to be going crazy.
Everyone they have some type of disability, right? So if it's attention disorder, right? Or if they have ADD, or if they can't comprehend.
Home life is fucked up.
Home life, right? Like, so some things that I'm asking them to do, they've never been asked their whole life. And the crazy thing, they can go back and forth with me. And you know why? Just like I used to tell my students, y'all fight in school because you know I'm going to break it up, right? Because if you really wanted to beef,
we're at after school.
You would be quiet. There would be no problems in the hallway. Y'all would all take that walk. I used to do that at Westy. Kids used to act up. I used to all right, let's go. Let's walk outside to the swamp.
No, I definitely heard these stories too. I've heard these stories real life too. Like, yo, Johnny's people, that's my family.
Like, let's walk out to the swamp.
Try to tell us to go outside. Go outside.
And I won't say nothing. And y'all, on the way down, by the time we get to the last step, they went to middle school together.
You know you my mans, bro.
Yeah. So my thing is just like, yo, listen, it's okay. Like, yo, I'm challenging you. If you don't know, just say, Coach, I've never been taught that, but too many people have been given them things, like when you've been handed life on a silver platter and someone tells you no. Sometimes the first time it's hearing no is from me as a coach. Like I do it every year. Who's going Division I? Everyone raise their hand. And I just shake my head. Because I don't think they know how hard it takes to be a Division I basketball player. Right? And it's not just on the court, it's in the classroom. Like, they don't understand that classroom. They don't understand clearinghouse. Yeah. Right? We had one situation, a young man did not receive a scholarship because he wouldn't listen to me, because I said, yo, don't take no online courses. And why not? And took the online course and lost the scholarship. So the young man needed a class, but he only had probably 2 or 3 classes. He could have took the 4th class, right? But it was like, the suggestion was take an online class. It's easier. You can knock it out. But with Clearinghouse, they don't accept online classes. You have to be in front of a person 2 hours in front of a live person. So that online course didn't count for him. And and then that kind of ruined him. And honestly, he stumbles for a little bit, and he's getting it back together. He was one of your favorite players.
I feel it is in my heart already. I feel it is in my heart.
You know what I mean? And it was just, and it's just like, listen.
But that's still one. If you're saying, I know he hit me up all the time, like, what's up?
Yeah.
He called me the other morning, like early in the morning, like, what's up, bro? What's up? What you talking about, bro? Yo, you good? Everything good? I'm happy to hear that, bro. All right, cool. But thanks for calling me. I'm glad that you know that you can call me. Like, I just called to thought about you, making sure you're good. I'm like, all right, word.
But that's what it's really about, like making sure, like, and me saying no was like, oh man.
Everyone else telling me to do it. Everyone's telling me to do it. So why Johnny's telling me no?
I'm saying don't. And it was like, then it's, you look now, you look back, and it's like, damn, man. I was in school anyway.
Yeah, like, so why not go to fucking one more class? Shit, I might see a badass little shorty in that class too if I go there.
But why not just, you're
You're
in
right.
school anyway.
You're right. You're
Like,
right.
Just.
So, my fault, Jizz, but Wayne, to you, as you, I know we dealing with a 10 age gap dealing with these high
Yeah.
schoolers. What do you feel like the biggest challenges trying to regulate and be on the same page as them?
Yeah, I mean, so when I first started coaching, I was like 20, right? Imagine trying to coach
18-year-olds,
19-year-olds, 17-year-olds at 20, right? And you want to do right by the coaching staff, obviously Johnny, and get these guys prepared to win. And, like, I obviously just have, like, an innate passion for basketball, so sometimes I could be a little bit of a spaz with that. And so it didn't always work out that way, and I had to do a lot of self-reflection, too. Like, yo, like, you got to take it easy because, like, you're not Johnny, and you're not, like, some older adult figure, like, that they know, and respect, too. And I think that's the biggest thing, like, it took a lot for me to learn how to get respect being so close with them in age because I kind of have to be on their level. Like,
Yeah.
I got to not necessarily assimilate to them, but I got to meet them where they're at.
Where they can understand.
Yeah, so like Johnny might be bad cop and I might be good cop, but then there are times where I'm bad cop and Johnny's good cop because they're like, yo, we're done. We're tired of hearing his voice,
I know.
you know?
I
So,
just get the phone calls all the time. I'm like, nigga, deal with
Yeah.
it.
but
I think you talking to me crazy, bro.
I think for me as a
That's your
coach,
bro.
and being a young coach and being under Johnny's direction, like while I feel like I'm establishing this game, my outlook on it was never to try to teach them X's and O's or try to develop them the skill. I just wanted them to know that somebody around them gave a fuck because that's what Johnny presented for me.
And that's dope. That's dope.
So,
That's dope.
That's what it's about.
Hell yeah, because it's like I can you can talk to X and O's and with me, but if it's like I don't respect you, I'm not gonna listen to you. But it's like when I respect you, it's like you breaking that. It's like what I hear from you is like you breaking that first layer down where it's like even though Dewayne might be second or third on the bench, I know when I disappoint him, that feels worse than me not following the X and O's that Johnny and them are setting along because he's the one he's the one that believes in me. He's the one taking the time to talk to me and break the things down to me in that way. So that
yeah, like I said, those first couple years, I would say even the first half of being at Tech it wasn't rough, but as far as that aspect, it was challenging because you're trying to get people who are very similar in age with you to try to buy in and understand something like a bigger picture and trying to help them, but it can come off in a way that's like, yo, like, you're not that far away in age from me. Like, I don't really have to listen to you.
Yeah.
Even if what I'm saying is trying to, like I said, like trying to guide them or help them, it can come off a little bit fucked up sometimes. So, like, now the kids that I coach, like, there's probably that good, like, age gap where, you know, they're 14 through 18 and I'm now in my 30s. And
it did you pull up to every practice with the designer on, you got the crazy whip outside, everything. They're like, I want to be like Big Bro Wade. I want to be like Big Bro a little bit.
no designer, maybe a couple foreigns in the parking
Oh yeah,
lot,
couple.
but-
I love it. I love it the way you talking. Usually these guys are real modest. I told them, I said, ain't no modesty today, bro. Y'all better come talk y'all shit the way we talk all the time, or I'm in this podcast.
Just honest, just being real.
And I appreciate that from you guys. But yo, we're gonna take it back to the essence because I get pissed off with these new age niggas who be talking like Mattapan really wasn't them niggas and basketball players. Like Mattapan didn't have the killer bees. Like a lot of niggas didn't want to come down and play at Alma or Ashmont Park. I mean Alma or Norfolk Park.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't want to. A lot of people didn't want to come play in River Street Park. So I want to ask you a question. Who was your favorite baller that you watched growing up? Coaching, playing with, anything?
Watching, probably was Fudge.
Lloyd Mumford.
Lloyd Mumford.
If you're not familiar.
Lexington High School.
Villanova.
See,
when y'all say Lloyd Mumford, I know you're talking about. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
word.
Mattapan.
Okay.
Woodhaven Street.
Okay.
You know, Wilson family.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And another dog, people didn't realize Pumpkin had some juice.
Oh no, give him that respect.
P. Diddy from
P
the
still be
city.
playing. P still be playing out here. Like yeah, P working niggas at 35.
P.
55.
55, 65, 75. You know, but P. Diddy has some.
No, Pumpkin Juice still be
Pump
balling.
has some skills, but like, just watching those older guys, man, and of course the legend Dana.
Dana. No, the
Like
vibes.
Dana, like it's so crazy. All the
the
guys
vibes.
remember me because I was younger. Me and my man Antone had Doman Pinches, and we wanted to play basketball back in the Matter Hunt, and they wouldn't let us play. So we would sick the dogs on them, clear the court, clear
That's
the court,
crazy.
clear the court. Pump, Lloyd, like all of them were talking about, like, here they come.
My lineage is real when it comes to this basketball and football shit. We
Yo,
we
Dana
them
can
guys.
just, yo, stop.
We them guys.
Now, Dana can just do everything.
Yeah, he's
like
anything,
like
golf,
and
anything.
yo, we'll play golf. I'm like, yo,
That
Dana,
nigga's a genius when it comes to sports.
like,
Yeah.
no form, no nothing, but he's sitting at 300 yards straight. Like
When it comes to any sport,
like
he's a
any
genius.
sport, he just
He's a
just
genius.
does
I
it.
tell him that all the
Like,
time.
Yo, he just
I'll tell him that all
he
the
can
time.
fish with no fishing rod.
Don't tell him that. Now he think he extra special and shit.
Oh man.
But
yeah.
nah, I just remember growing up back in the day and playing for YABC and just having that, okay, knowing we had you as a coach, James as a coach, like matter of
But
fact.
hold, let me interrupt real quick because we got to go back to the Killer Bees, right? Because
Yes.
Killer Bees was a part of. It was a bunch of kids that no one really wanted. We was a little community center in Mattapan, off Alabama Street. You know, everyone. You
No
had
one
the
knew
Lee
about, it was on
School,
the back street.
You had the Lee School. You had all these other places, and I just had a bunch of little kids, and I was like, yo, they want to hoop, but they was bad as hell. Like there was some
Misfits.
misfits,
That's the perfect word.
but they had heart.
Word.
Like like they didn't have the most skills. So I was like, all right, you know, we're gonna do a little thing, and it was crazy because I was watching that like Bad News Bears, and I was like, yo,
That kinda reminds us
yeah,
of it.
that's like, right? I was like, we can't shoot. Chester ain't got a jump shot, but Chester's a lefty. We gonna press up on you, and that's all we did all day. So it was like the Killer Bees. And
you know who I seen out
Yeah.
recently? Debo.
yeah,
I see him out in the club recently. I'm like, my nigga, what's the word with you, bro?
Yeah.
Like, it's good to see you. He's like, yo, good to see you too, bro. It's like, that I told him, like, every time I gotta show that respect, because you was one of them niggas coming up looking at that was that dog in basketball. I'm like,
That
nigga,
dog.
no, he got it. I'm just
Yeah.
like, so when I see you now, I still feel like a kid. I'm like, oh, that's that nigga who I used to watch playing basketball. We used to be that nigga. Little as shit, but was
little
that nigga.
dog. Like I
Yeah.
said, we had dogs. We had one kid, Cali, my man Dante from California, legend in football, but just a dog in basketball. One of the Killer Bees, Chester, Dana, Bubs, R.I.P. Drew.
Oh,
right?
R.I.P. Drew. Oh my God.
Shoot, R.I.P. Bundy. Lil Bundy was one. Like we had R.I.P.
shit.
TP. Like yo, we had some real kids that could really play basketball, but they was at the time I was young, right? So it was like I didn't have the tools
To
get them
navigate.
to navigate them with that. Like it was like, okay, I'm doing this. We're playing the community, boom, and that was it. Like right, like it wasn't about trying to get them into school, and you know, grades was always important because academics is a big part of my family and my life. But it was just like, all right, you're going to high school, and me assuming coaches were like me, and they cared.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize, and then that was the harsh reality. They was going to places where coaches really didn't care about their well-being, their mental health, what's going on in their homes. Like, right, like, so.
That's the biggest thing, man. I think that goes really understated. That's the toughest. Being a basketball coach in inner city, no matter inner city, you're not just a basketball coach. You're an uncle, you're a father, you're a big brother, you're a provider. You're really like that vessel getting some of these kids through. We don't know what's going on the other side of that door when they go home. And when they come to us, we're helping to try to take care of that as best as we can. You know, it's not just X's and O's, not just, you know, roll out a basketball for a couple hours and let kids play. I think it's a lot more of like a parental sort of
The guidance.
responsibility.
The guidance. Yeah.
Yo,
Jiz, let me ask you a question. I know I just asked you who's your best player that you saw growing up, but as you going through these tumultuous times of coaching at Dorchester and getting to where you at right now, Brookline, who is like the best player that you coached that didn't get to where they could have got to?
easy, Leroy Wells, Bubs. Oh my. Yo.
Tell me about him. Cause I don't remember who Leroy is.
So Bubs, father Bubby Burke, like the Burke family. The,
Little brothers are Brookline alumni.
yeah, both of his brothers, twin brothers.
Yeah.
Yo, Gary Burke's his uncle. TP was his like yo.
Oh, okay.
Yo,
Legend.
Real
like,
deal,
so
bro.
so when I first met him, right, all he can do was rebound. Dana brought him to me because he was Dana's cousin, you know. Well, Dana's uncle was dating his sister, so they're family. And all he could do was rebound. Then one summer,
What?
playing-
Dana for the Bricks?
Dana from little Dana Burris that played for me. So Dana's like my cousin could rebound. The kid could rebound. I was like, okay, kid's nice. You can rebound. That's it. Never worked out. Next year he came back, jump shot, handle, everything. I said, hold it. He was like, I just woke up and I could shoot. Like on some real, like true story. Anyone know Bubs? All of a sudden he could shoot. He can play. He can get to the hole. Like he was a dog. He was that kid, right? Like, but it was that thing. It was, you know, R.I.P. Linda. I love you. You know, that was his mother. She passed. Lost her like last year. But he was that kid that had it, but I didn't have those tools at the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, you know, everyone was like, he's angry. You know, it's all of that. Like, it's real. Like, mental health is real. Not saying he has mental health, but just having someone to talk to.
Yeah, having
right?
someone
like,
to vent
having
to.
someone to vent to. Like, right? Like, it really, like, basketball was something he can do, right? That was easy for
But it wasn't who he was.
It wasn't who he was. He had an opportunity. I'm going to tell you, this young man was in jail. I'm on the phone with him and the coach from Notre Dame Prep. All he had to do was come home, and he had a spot. But I wasn't enough of a deterrent to keep him from that lifestyle. Like, he loves me. That's my nephew to this day. Never disrespect me. He'll do anything for me. He'll do anything to anyone for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? But he didn't do enough for himself. And I was like, yo, I need you to work on you. Stop worrying about the block. He was so worried. Yo, I gotta be loyal to my dudes. And I was like, yo, you gotta be loyal to yourself. And in this game, in life, too many people aren't true to themselves.
Word.
Right? Like, it's always an image. Like me, it's never been like, I never drank, I never smoked, I never wanted to be in a crew. Never want to hustle, like, right? Never want to, because I understood what came with that, like, right? Because my family came from that. So I understood if you hustle, it's a 3-year lifespan.
Unless you fucking someone special. And there's very few of those.
And there's 1 or 2 of those, right? So I can't give you 3 years good for 15 to 25 bad, right? Like, and that's the way we got to think about it. Right, like you can have 3 years because that's all it is. Your run's 3 years, then it's 15 bad. So with me, it was like, yo, with this education, making sure my parents made sure I was educated and playing sports, and not liking the coaches that I had. Right, like that's what kind of made me want to be a coach, because like coaches don't always understand. Like, right, like I can break it down. Like I can break any scenario down in life with basketball.
Word.
Like, right, like I can break anything down with basketball, and the kids understand that, and I make it like, right, I understand my kids, so I understand some kids are complicated, and they can understand complex things, like your little brother taking pre-calculus, AP calculus. His conversations with me were different than another conversation with a kid that couldn't comprehend and couldn't get it.
Gotcha.
So it was like I always had my teacher's hat on, right? So I always had to scaffold my coaching, like, right? Like some of it's high-end AP calculus, right? And then some of it's just basic fundamentals.
X and O's.
Like and why? Like kids want to know why. Like, right, like in life, we always want to know why.
And that, honestly, that's what kind of built me to like have me and like you brought my little brother. That's where me and him kind of started clicking more in life, when I started realizing, nigga, at that age you wasn't that understanding and listening. So if he's sitting here and want to understand and listen to why, explain to the little nigga why instead, because when your father should tell you do this or Johnny should tell you do this, if it wasn't, if you didn't feel like the reason, because I felt like I was so smart and I had the tools to do anything, anywhere, where I had the wherewithal to do anything in my life, and I feel like that. So it's like, so then when dealing with seeing my little brother grow and be like that, I'm like, okay, this nigga's acting wild too much. Instead of me getting mad, because I said so, it's like, because if someone said that to me, I'm like, nigga, fuck you. So now, why do I try to demand the same respect from him that I'm not gonna get to no one else? That's ludicrous to me.
Yeah.
So this is reason why. Then it's like, then that's when we started breaking more things. When he's got around 13, 14, it's like, all right, bro, my apologies. Like, I just wanted you to listen to me because I know you look up to me, and I've been through shit you don't want to been through, so I'm telling you don't do this. But no, I got to give you the reasons why you need to do this so you don't end up here. And because you may be looking at me, oh, this nigga got it. My older brother's, he's known out there, he get girls, he's handsome, he got a little few dollars in his pockets, got a little car outside. But it's like, I'm not explaining to you this is not enough as a man. This is not enough a man to do. This may be cool to satisfy some ego, but to get what you really go, I had to sit here and explain him what I'm doing, what I'm trying to do. And that's when we started clicking, like, and as a man. So what you saying right there, like, I kind of, it was like another full circle moment for me, because I'm like, he's been telling me to talk to, like, yo, coach, since he was young. And I'm like, I can't, because the same patience I give you, I can't give to everyone else. But as he started to get older and you brought me in around Dorchester Tech and everything, and I started to see, it's like, okay, these little niggas care about what I say and how I say it. So I got to watch how I say it. They may not be who I am, and they're definitely not in that age of understanding. So it's like, dumb shit down and talk to them. Like you say, put the grass where the goat needs to eat it at. And,
right there.
and if you hold it somewhere else, it's not their fault if they don't want to come eat it, because sometimes people don't want that. People deal with some hard shit every day where it's like, I don't want to have to deal with no hard shit with you, bro. So if you can't make it easy upon me, fuck it. It is what it is. And that's where I kind of realized in my life was like, explain to these niggas why, and then you can try to tell them what to do, because you're explaining yourself, not just talking to them, talking down to them.
Talking at them.
Yeah, talking at them.
And that's what people do. Like, you come from an old school. Your family's family. It was do as I say, not as I do.
But I was always that nigga in that family, like,
You
no,
always
nigga,
question.
y'all got me fucked up. Nigga, what's up? Beat my ass.
Hold on, I'm gonna be honest with you.
He knows.
With both of them, I love them to death, but they're lefties.
Capricorn
And if
shit.
anyone knows anything about a lefty, they're wired differently.
We're lefties, we're Capricorns, and we're both smart as shit. So a lot of people older than us, we might have talked down to, might use words bigger than you, so who the fuck you think you're talking to? I'm just saying, bro, like, I understand on a different level than what you're trying to explain to me.
They're lefties. Lefties aren't normal. Chester lefty.
It is what it is.
Shimmy.
Shimmy,
Shamar.
Shimmy definitely ain't
Larry,
fucking normal. That nigga's crazy. Larry has some problems
every
too.
lefty I coach.
I guess you're
was
right.
a pain in, like, but you know
Wow,
what?
I guess so.
Their passion is at another level though. But like he said though, it's like explaining the why, like right, like because kids want to know why. Like, right, like, just don't say don't touch the stove. Like, explain to them. Don't let them get burnt. Like, I'm trying to stop you from being hurt. Like, right, like, and when I say things, it may sound hurtful, but you're not a Division I basketball player. Like, right.
Johnny told me that like 7 times, and I'm like, nigga, you got me fucked up. I was never that good, but
You know it. But you can be a Division I student, right? Like, you can be D1, you can be around ball. Like,
I was an Ivy League student, but I was just a hard-headed dumbass.
Like,
I thought
I
I knew
tell the
everything.
kids, right? I said, if you look at Pat Riley, I was just telling someone this. We was having a conversation. I said, if you look at Pat Riley's been around basketball his whole life. Pat Riley probably played basketball for maybe 10, 14 years, but he's been in a role of basketball for about 50, 60.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Like you don't have to, like, the ball's gonna stop bouncing,
Sooner
but you
or
can
later.
still be a part of basketball. If you love basketball, you can be a part of it. I'm telling my young brothers now, like, yo, go to your girls' schools if you're in college. Ask those female coaches, can you practice with the girls, right, and learn, right? Like, imagine going to Tennessee and being able to be in practices with Pat Summons, just understanding and learning what she knows, right? Like, dudes want to play for the ball, but yo, if you sit and you learn and you watch pretty soon you become that Division I coach, because when you're learning, you learn from legends. Like, right, like I sit down, Bean's been on my staff. Like, so if we talk about Boston legends,
OG Vino!
just to bring it back,
The big
like,
dog.
Like, it starts with him. Like, right, like Al Bronski, it kind of starts with him. Like, right, but it's like you bring people around and I listen to him, and it's like I listen to him talk. He tells me about the games and, you know, everything, and I love to watch how he navigates through the city.
And the way you said that is the perfect way for me to say, and that's why we named this series As the Ball Turns. Because some people may turn it this way, some people may turn it that way, but no matter what, if you keep following it, you're going to get to where you want to go. But perfect segue, we're going to take a little commercial break right now. We back from our commercial break to 212 Podcast for our inaugural episode for the As the Ball Turns. We got OG Jizz, my man Wayne over here. So when we get back into this, I want to ask you this question. We're going to get back to high school basketball, how things going, because I'm talking to basketball royalty. How do y'all feel AAU basketball is affecting not just basketball in our city, but all over? Be real with me, because I hate this AAU basketball bullshit.
You want to take it? You can take it.
I
can take it. I mean,
I'm gonna be long-winded with mine. I got some. I had a lot of perspective on that.
Like, what happened is, I'm just gonna keep it all the way 100. Since Nike, Under Armour, all these guys, the big conglomerates came in, the sneaker companies came in. AAU kind of changed the whole narrative. It somewhat destroyed high school sports. You got kids saying, I'm not playing for my high school team. I'm just going to play AAU, and I'm still going to go to school, right? Like, I'm still going to do it. Like, AAU coaches are brokering deals. You know, a lot of these college coaches, a lot of on the benches are ex-AAU program directors, because the high schools need feeding systems. I mean, the colleges need feeding systems, right?
And that's exactly what it is.
And that's what it is, because it's the sneaker company, right? Like, and they're getting kids from all over. It's crazy. I just came back from doing AAU tournament. Showstoppers, got to shout out my man Bronco, my daughter's.
Shout out Big Bronc, man.
My daughter's playing for them. But we went out there and we're watching, and I'm watching, and I'm looking at the Nike teams. I'm looking at, you know, some of these 3 SSB teams and these Under Armour teams. And it's like, it's hard. Like, if you're a high school coach and you're competing with girls and boys being able to travel, get these little lanyards that says EYBL.
And they all leave on their book bag.
On their book bags, and it's the sneaker deal. And it's like, they're just.
Was it competition?
It's not even the competition. You know what it is? It took the high school coach out, right? Like, at one point, if you wanted Patrick Ewing, you had to go through Mike Jarvis in Cambridge.
Yeah.
Now, if you want a player, it's AAU coach that's brokering the deal, right? Like, it's a thing where the live period, right? Especially in Massachusetts, we can't work with our kids every single day. We have a time frame when we can work with them, when we can't work with them, right? So how are we gonna get them better? The AU now runs from March to November. So high school kids are spending more time with their AAU coaches than their high school coaches.
Word.
Right? And they're playing on these big showcases, right? Like, and a lot of them, there's some that are teaching, but there's some that aren't. Because if you got 30 kids that are all at a prep school, when are they going to coach? When are you going to practice? Right? So what it is it's really turning into be open runs. You got a lot of talent, got a lot of kids. Let's put it together, right? And let's play, right? Like, are there real sets going on? How often do you see clipboards?
Real plays, yeah.
Real plays. Fundamentals of it. You know, I come back, I'm telling kids about defensive things, and they're with these trainers that's throwing a basketball in the air with a tennis ball, and they're spinning, and they're doing a reverse spin crossover pound, and it's like, yo, what? Oh, well, that's what my AAU or my trainer's teaching me.
Damn.
So it's just we're no longer, honestly, we're not relevant because we're not AAU coaches. Like, right? Some high school coaches, you see them, they're doubling as AAU coaches.
Word.
Right? They're doubling as AAU coaches because they want to stay relevant. Now AAU coaches are becoming head of prep schools. Now they're just funneling it.
ADs?
No, they're becoming head of. Sorry, when I mean head of prep schools, I mean head basketball coaches.
Okay, it's okay.
Let me correct myself. Head basketball coaches. Now they're just funneling all their AAU players to their schools. Right? It's
a dirty game.
It's a dirty game, and if you're an AAU coach, you don't want your kid in this MIA public school. You want them in prep school because that's a higher level, right? We're here, right? Like if you look at it, and you look at this, Simeon High School was a public high school in Chicago. Public, right? If you see Camden High School, a public high school, right? Like in other states, like these public high schools, Lincoln's a public high school,
And
boys
dogs
and
are coming
girls.
out of it.
they're
Dogs are
real.
coming out of public high schools.
But
like
here
it's the
our
same.
kids go to prep school.
Yeah.
They're not gonna say in the city of Boston. If they have some, the AAU coaches are gonna help them get out of there. Like I need you out of there, right? Because I need you to reclassify, right? Like you gotta reclassify because not that I need you for the 24, which you are truly are. I need you for the 25s.
Because you're better than I got you.
Right? Because you're really not good enough to play with the 24s.
But when you graduate 25.
But when you do the 25, now you're more appealing.
Yeah.
Like, right? But that's why a lot of these guys ain't McDonald's All-American. Because the McDonald's All-American's only 4 years of high school. No reclass and no nothing. So you see guys that should be McDonald's All-Americans, or you thought they would be,
But they're
and you're
not
like,
getting it.
why didn't they? Because they played, they got reclassified. Now they're keeping them back in 8th grade. You got AU coaches saying, your parents should keep you back to go 8th grade. Right? Like, now when you're just keeping it real with everyone, let's just keep it real. And I'm looking into the camera. Your son's a 16-year-old freshman. Come on.
AAU is a cesspool.
Cool. That's a tough word.
And furthermore, it's an arms race. It's really just a collection of wherever you're from. And honestly, keep in mind, right? Like if you go to Brookline High School, for example, you have to live in that town. AAU, if you play for Oakland Soldiers, you can be from Florida. You can be from Alabama. You can be from wherever. So it's really just whoever these handlers or coaches are, just collecting pools of talent, and like Johnny said, just basically playing an open run. AAU really is not teaching any structure. There's no discipline, right? It's really just like a free-for-all, right? Like in my time, I won't speak too much on my time at AAU, but in my time during AAU, it really shows kids like, yo, if you're not happy and if you're really not putting in the work, you can just leave. You can go to another AAU team. When I was growing up at AAU, when me and you was growing up and playing AAU, there were probably
4.
There's probably 20 teams in this state. There's probably 40 teams in the region. There's probably right now probably 200 teams in Massachusetts right now.
I'm saying 5 and 4 teams that you wanted to play for.
Yeah, but like it's just so diluted now, and then and AAU is also creating a lot of pathways for kids to just play, which is a good thing for the sport. It's getting more kids to play basketball, but under what terms and conditions, right?
What pretenses are they learning?
Because if you're not happy at your high school and you decide to leave, you have to get a waiver, or you have to sit out a year, and that could really disrupt your entire trajectory. AAU, if you're not happy this week, next week, you could be in a completely different uniform playing against the same kids you was just playing with in the same tournament. So I appreciate the fact what AAU and kind of what the internet has done for as far as the exposure, but that's also what it is too. Is a lot of kids are playing for the 60-minute highlight.
Yeah.
They're playing for the Connect video, or they're playing for, no disrespect to him, but that's just what kids are kind of just doing now, and they're not really listening. You might have a coach on the staff on AAU team really trying to teach these kids the fundamentals of how to get to that next level, but it's really just it's a song and dance.
But I will say there are some great AAU programs, right? because Mike Crotty's doing this thing with Middlesex Magic.
Sure.
But you got to realize he wasn't a sponsored team when his pops was there. Like, right, I coached against his pops. Pops was it.
I remember they was coming up when we was outside.
Yeah,
That's Middlesex was just starting.
Yeah,
I remember
his
that.
pops was a dog. His pops,
R.I.P.
Coastal
Coach
Pops,
Cardi, man.
Coastal Pops, Middlesex with Crotty. They were really teaching. Like, they was really teaching basketball. It wasn't just press. Like, they taught, and you see Middlesex now winning the UAA twice
doing them.
in a row
Back to back.
because he's really coaching. But not all AAU teams are doing that. And the crazy thing is the mom and pop ones, the real small ones, and you're like, yo, why are this team so good? It's because a coach took them from the ground up. And what I hate to see
Reaped and
is
sowed.
they raise them, and then all of a sudden they get 15 to 16. Now it's like, I want to play. I want to go to. I want to go to
leaving me now after I did all this for
I
you?
want to go to EYBL.
Yeah.
Right, and it's hurting those true coaches because they can't fight that, because you know what? You can't go to Peach Jam if you're not a Nike team.
That exposure is
different.
real, and it's
And
a
it-
drug, man.
And it's a drug. They want to see LeBron there. They want to see, Carmelo, CP3. Like, they want to see that. Like, right? You go down there, you see Takeover. Takeover's they won it again, right? You see New World, Manny, shout out to Manny Fizzle, right? New World, 3SSB.
Who Lil Mouse play
guys-
for?
Huh?
Who Lil Mouse play for?
I don't know.
I know they just won it again. They just won something too.
Yeah, but like back in the day, AAU, when you guys were around, it was real. You had a contract, you signed with AAU, you had to get your membership.
Hell
In order to
yeah.
get released, your AAU coach had to sign the papers to release you, and you had to sit out a couple of games
A couple
before.
tournaments.
Now it's like, y'all don't like you.
I forgot
wanna
about that whole
Yeah.
membership shit.
It was a
Word.
whole membership. You had, and it was only the AAU championship. There was no Nike. There was no Adidas. There was none of that.
We're all just trying to get down here in Florida.
You had to go to ABCD camp that was ran by Reebok.
You had
and
to
Adidas.
qualify.
Yeah, you had to qualify.
In this day and age right now in 2023, you can just go and pay the fee to go and play in nationals. You do not have to qualify. You don't have to win states or have to win super regionals.
Y'all teaching me some shit.
Correction. It's no longer AAU. I'm gonna be real. There's AAU,
And it's
but
US.
then there's hoop group,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Like there's hoop group circuit.
ZG.
Yeah.
There's zero gravity.
Yeah, okay.
there's-
I'm confused by all that shit
there's
now, honestly.
EYBL.
I think all that shit-
SSB. Like
It's tiered.
AAU is it's still under that umbrella of amateur athletic basketball or association.
So now what I hear you
But-
breaking it down to me is kind of sounding like the minor leagues for baseball.
Yeah.
It's just so many different tiers to where it's like
The-
to where you get to.
where you get to.
You got to go through the whole farming system.
AAA, double A.
Yeah,
It's
exactly,
like
yes, you
The
have to-
double A's are like the EYBL, the 3SSB. Like, if you're on that tier, no, it's so crazy. Kids just want to play for the gear. I had a student that just wanted to play just to get the gear to say
I played in EYBL.
EYBL, but never played. Now, there's a difference from playing EYBL and sitting on that bench and just being a part of going through the doors and clapping.
There's something wrong with this. Our generation is built on pride. Even when I played with Jizz and them, when our team on YBC, and that's like, when I asked you the question about who was the best players you coach, I thought you were gonna say some of us. Like, me and Dewayne was probably what? Dewayne was probably sixth off the bench. I was probably sixth or seventh. I was probably eighth and ninth. Because we had dogs on our team, but if me and Dewayne went to any other team, we were starting there. But it's like we had Dewayne, we had Mikey, we had Baz, we had who else we had?
Louis
Maddie.
Montez.
We had
Louis Montez.
Louis Montez. We had
Ox.
Timmy. We had Ox.
We
We
had-
had dogs. We
We
had dogs. So it's like you had to wait in line, but it was like I don't mind waiting in line with these. Next time I'm still learning. I'm still getting it.
But again, how times have changed. Like if I wasn't cutting it with YABC or another program,
I can just go to a different one.
I got to go work on my game.
That's what I felt
I got to
like.
go work on my game so that the next time the AAU season comes around, I can go try out for that same program or another program. But
I'm
in
getting some
2023, if I'm not cutting it, I'm going to go find an AAU program that's tailored for me.
Within that same season.
correction. Let's just really correct it. It was people with the financial and economic means. Their kids weren't playing, so I can fund my child's own program.
For sure.
So that's where a lot of these AAUs came. Because tryouts was real. Like it was YABC, Metro Boston, BABC.
Yeah, I'm about to say that. I'm about to say BBC.
Like those
Shout
were
out to nigga Larry Merritt, man.
These were like, but at the time, those were our three majors.
MABC.
But I mean,
they came after.
Before it was YABC,
BABC,
Metro Boston, and BABC.
Yeah, you're right.
BABC was the top tier.
No, you're right.
Right, like, and then you would find out about Coastal Parks. You would find out about the buddies out in New Bedford, out in that area, right? Like, but it was Leo at a point of time had a monopoly
On this shit for real.
on this.
Where he did.
Like, yo, it was let Leo take whoever Leo gets,
And we get the rest.
and we get the rest.
And we'll figure it out.
And we was getting damn good ball
we
players.
was.
Because Leo had the cream of the crop.
Creme de la creme.
He had it. But we had some top shelf too. Right? And it was like, yo, if you didn't make those teams, like he said, you was outside working on your game. And you was waiting for next year. Right? Like, don't forget, remember AAU was only from April to July.
That's it.
Then they made a fall season. You got kids opting out of high school basketball to play AAU.
Wow. So do you feel like AAU is the biggest challenge to high school kids now? Or do you feel it's the whole reclassification?
I say that's AAU, because if you want to play for these top teams, right, and you're not fitting right away, they'll put you in a prep school so they can reclass you, right? Like that's everything. Like reclass, like it's reclass. So it's like you're reclassing for what? To go play for an AAU team, right? Yeah. What's the purpose of reclassing? Some of you are academically sound, like, right? Like, know what's so crazy? Kids are reclassing at a 3.8 GPA students at their high school, and they're reclassing to go to another high school, right? If you leave Brookline, which is a top 5 academic school, right, and you got a 3.8, no matter where you go on a prep school, their academics are going to be the same.
Same as the
The
high
same.
school you just left.
Right, the same. The average SAT at Brookline's a 310. 13, 10. You can only get a 1600. That's the average, a 1310.
That's good.
Right?
Oh,
Essay, the achievement, the ACT, the average is a 32. Like, so their scores are amazing. The academics is amazing. But why are you leaving? Because, right, like, oh, I'm going to go play prep school basketball. Okay, you went to go to a C class.
NESCAP school when you could have.
You could have said that at
Yeah.
G1. But you know what it is, though? It's not prep.
Got you.
Right? Like, I can get a school right now and call it prep, and everyone will think it's dope.
Johnny Prep and everyone. Yo, I'm going
Right.
to play
No,
with
but it's
Johnny.
a real thing. People are legitimately
Starting
schools.
I know.
They're making new schools.
The I know we saw Julian
Newman.
Newman. The kid's horrible, been horrible, but his father started in a whole new school just for his son, so he could play and look.
Started
And
in
look,
YouTube.
where is he at? Where is he at now?
But that's
I
what
ain't hating on you, Julian. I just think he was never that good, but it is what it is.
Now reclass shit, man. Listen, if you're good enough, they will find you, and if you're good enough, you can play against kids that are 2 years younger than you and 2 years older than you. That's
you gonna be
just
alright.
real shit.
Word.
Your
'Cause-
best player never reclass. Kobe never reclass. Right? Jordan never reclass. Magic never reclass. Like, right, if you're good, you're good. Right? Like that's just what it is.
You're
If
right.
you're
Simple.
good, you're good, because then you got a question. If you're 19 as a senior and you're playing against 14 and 15-year-olds, how good are you really?
I'm killing these niggas, bro. 30 every week. I got you. Got you. I'm gonna wrap this up. We're gonna wrap it up to the fun part of the episode right now. I got some viewer questions that people want to be asked. Only two simple
sorry.
ones. Only two simple ones. I heard the kids that y'all used to work with at Dorchester used to beat y'all ass at practice.
Oh.
In basketball and in fighting.
What? Yo.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. I heard y'all used to get jumped. I heard y'all didn't live safe lives as coaches at Dorchester.
So
I heard at Tech Boston
couldn't have been more comfortable.
So hold it. I don't know if you want to pan down to me. Like, I'm real comfortable. I got on Nike Crocs. Like, that's how comfortable I am. My legs are crossed. I'm very comfortable where I got my.
I'm just saying what I heard. That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
And I'm gonna shout out one of my guys. I love you to death, Mr. Maurice Works, but I did have you stumbling and falling. You know, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we used to have, honestly, that's what we did though. Like, right, like when you say, I wouldn't even say like you're saying fighting. Like, people don't realize that. Like, I always tell my guys, I had a bunch of alphas, and I say and I repeat this over. Alphas talk with their chest. So people like, oh, they're yelling. Nah, that's just how alphas talk. Two alpha males ain't gonna have a quiet conversation. They're not gonna, because they're both trying to assert their dominance. So I've always had alphas, and we would get in these little wrestling matches with the kids and the coaches, and that was bonding. It wasn't like
Brotherhood type
plane
shit.
fighting. It was
exactly.
like, it was a rite of passage. Like, the young kids couldn't wait to get in the gym with the bigger kids, and for them to stop wrestling, like they was doing their push-ups, waiting for the day when that door shut and the coaches look like, yo, we got one.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like, and we would have them, but
I
it
definitely
was.
remember those back in the days, man.
There's a few lefties that I played during my time at Tech Boston. I may have, like, we might be like 500, might be even in basketball. But what LeVar Ball say? Never lost.
Never lost.
Okay.
In a play fight, in a wrestling match,
hold on.
never lost.
We had the craziest dude decide.
Shout out my man.
I got his ribs
Shout out my man JD, man.
I heard JD got his ribs torn one time.
He got tapped one time unexpected, right?
It was a sucker punch.
Yeah, by a lefty.
I kind of know who he is.
Yeah, but like we won all of those, and it was. That's what it was.
But that's one thing. Even to this day, like when my little brother and his friends are at my house chilling in the basement, they about to be 4 or 5 years out of high school. They still talking about shit they used to do at high school practice and shit they used to do with y'all. And like they still living through the memories and everything. And then it's like. Like I say, it's like we have like an ecosystem, and anyone that comes on us is like a type of ecosystem. It's like you're gonna deal with basketball, either Johnny or Dewayne. You're gonna deal with some street shit or some business shit or a real conversation with me. You're gonna deal with someone else that's in the circle that's been around us who can like guide us to where we need it to be. And it's like that's what we need. And it's like what you said earlier. It's like a lot of people don't know if you play team sports, you know how to pick a position. Like. Now I know where now it's like in certain games, and I use that tailorment to say in certain games, in certain lifestyles, certain elements that I may plug myself into. It's like if I'm on a team with you, if you call me to do something, I'm not coming to play superstar. No, I'm not coming to play scoring. You need me to assist, you need me to rebound. What you need for me to do to make this team work. And it's like that's things of being a Johnny disciple, of being appreciative of things you have taught us. Like I said, I have been on teams with Baz, Wayne, Ray, Mikey, Maddie.
Yeah.
When I was my name in Rosendale, I was one of the best basketball players out there. But when I came to play with these niggas, I was nobody, but I still learned and I got better, and I was like, all right, this is what I can do. But it's just all just, like you say, a tailorment of learning who you are and learning to play your position and know that's how a team really wins.
And that's how you do it.
I feel like, to be honest with you, you've been through it, because we both have been through it, but if you play for Jay, and I'm not just saying it just because he's here, but like you have no choice but to buy in, because he's going to buy into you. Right. The investment into these kids for the last 25 to 30 years by Johnny is exactly why he's in the positions that he's in now, is in the seats that he has now. I've always said, and it sounds cliche and it sounds corny, but like our biggest championships are not the ones that have banners. It's the ones that's in the small diplomas with their names on it, right?
Oh, that's dope.
That's some real shit. Watching these kids go off to graduate high school, go off to college, or get a job, or raise a family, start a family, whatever. Like That's a championship right there, and that all starts with this guy right here. So from the play fights to the tough love to the winning the tough games and losing by 60, it's all for something. It's all not for naught.
And it's something you said that I even harp on that I still look up to. I ain't been out to dinner with Johnny or Wayne in a minute, and people that know me and Wayne know we live 2 seconds from each other. Me and Johnny, that's my uncle. I ain't been out to eat or nowhere in public with these niggas all the time. But if I call my little brother or call someone that's in town from school, where you at? Oh, I'm out to eat with Johnny. I'm with Wayne right quick. And it's like, that's dope. Like, niggas are still feeding back into the
That's
ecosystem.
the love language, man. Because whether it's Wendy's or
Exactly.
it's Maggiano's,
Yes.
everything in between, like that's what we do because
Word.
all it takes is just for us to just have some food or something simple, just to break bread and bond
Word.
and create that brotherhood. This basketball shit is what all has us here, but it's way bigger than that. It is a family. It is a brotherhood.
It's real. Like
It's not in vain.
Like you got a lot of coaches that win championships and they're proud of their programs. Like I'm proud I won my championships, but I'm proud of the relationships.
Sure.
I'm proud of bringing them out to Eddie V's and they're just eating. It's like, yo, go eat.
Right.
Like right, by no means am I Elon Musk, but I'm able to be like, yo, I got y'all. Right? And it bugs me out though that now that they're a little bit older and they're like,
Yo, Jizz, I'm gonna take you. I got worried
no,
about it.
that they're drinking.
Oh,
in front of me, yo, let me get a lemon drop. Like,
Pomegranate lemon drop.
Yeah,
What's good with y'all, bro?
2 years ago, you was asking for a lemonade.
And I'm like, wow. Last week you could only get Shirley Temple.
Right.
Like Roy Rogers. Now they're coming back.
Lauren
from
asked
school.
for a dirty Shirley one time.
Yeah.
I said, how do you know what a goddamn dirty Shirley is? But she's like,
So
Get
that's
old
what I
quick,
like. I like
man.
the progression, and I love the fact that, you know what I'm saying, like, it's more than basketball, because I only have 4 years with him, right, as a coach. But like I tell my kids, I want to be at graduations, I want to be at firstborns, I want to be at weddings, I want to be a part of, so if you play for me, it's not you have 4 years to play for me, but you have the rest of your life for me to be a part of your life, right? And that's what it's really about.
Facts. Man, I have nothing but love and respect for both of y'all. Like nothing but the most. Even through me and Johnny's disagreements, whatever, because like me and Johnny will have bump our head about some few things in this. Yo, I love you. Hang up the phone. Same thing with Dewayne. Me and Dewayne may have some disagreements. Bro, I love you, my nigga. I give you some time, but we always gonna be who we are.
Yeah.
I'm happy that we finally got the episode and we can sit down and I can talk to y'all and get y'all story out to the city of Boston. And I'm happy that I got to shoot the inaugural episode of As the Ball Turns with two you guys are on the Mount Rushmore of Mattapan legends when it comes to this basketball shit. You at a young age you are, and you at the age you've been there. But it's like, hold them fingers up, bro. Y'all niggas is champions, y'all niggas is winners, and anywhere y'all go in life, you're respected because the type of men that y'all are and the type of men that y'all have put out there for these kids to follow.
Yeah.
So when we end this up, we end up the 212 podcast. We end the podcast, we come 212 with me. And I want y'all to tell these kids, the kids, the basketball players, the young coaches, how to follow in your steps and what things not to do to get what they need to do and what things they need to do to get to where you got to. And I want to hear y'all true testaments of what made y'all the men that y'all are today that get y'all to where y'all do. Because anybody following y'all steps, not anybody, because I know people look up to y'all now. Let's give them a little roadmap to how y'all got to where y'all
Go ahead.
I think for me, just as far as like the coaching aspect and working with young people and dealing with young people, my biggest mantra is be who you needed when you were younger. And like I wasn't lucky enough to have Johnny as like a high school basketball coach, but Johnny's been like a coach for life. Like as much as we sit here and talk about basketball, Johnny is like another father, a uncle to me. He is my OG. That is my mentor. And so everything that he does, I try to emulate that in my own style for the next generation coming up or the kids that we deal with. But like we had talked about before, this basketball it will stop bouncing eventually, but you can still be a part of the game however you choose to see. I want to shout out my man Anthony Mendez. He's a perfect example
My man.
of somebody who is staying around the game
That's my
and
dog.
doing really big things without needing to dribble a basketball or put that basketball in the hoop.
Exactly.
And so however you want to stay locked in with the game, find your fit, but just don't give up on your passions and your dreams. You don't have to be on the floor to be on the floor, if that makes sense.
Shout out my man Driller, man.
I would say my biggest thing is be comfortable with who you are, right? I say it, my students hear it all the time. Michael Jackson made the greatest song ever. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. So many people aren't comfortable of their reflection. Society puts that on us, right? We were enslaved. We were taught to say our reflection isn't beautiful, right? We were taught that our features weren't desirable. Once you get comfortable with who you are, I've always been comfortable with who I am. My daughter says it to this day. She knows, oh, Dad, I know. Like, I don't care where I'm at. I don't need to fit in, right? I'm comfortable with who I am, right? I'm comfortable when I was losing, right? But I never sat down. Attest to me as a coach, I will never, ever sit on a bench. Because if I sit on the bench, that means I stop fighting for y'all, right? I stand up, I move around, right? I'm always going, right? I'm always trying to figure out strategies. I'm always learning. I'm always watching. You know, if you know me, it's always basketball on. Something to do with basketball. Whether I'm reading John Thompson's book for the 80th time, right? Because every time I read that book, I find something new. I find a new gem. Shout out to my cousin LD, Lance Darton from Cambridge. Blessed me with that book, and since he blessed me with it, I probably read it about 20 times because I'm always finding a jewel in it, right? If you want to coach, if you want to play basketball, you want to be around basketball, if you want to be a better person, better than you were yesterday, right? First off, get comfortable with that person in the mirror. Understand and know your wants and your dislikes. Like, right? Like, once you get comfortable with you, you can accomplish anything. Like, right? Like, you don't have to be a basketball player. You don't have to be a coach. But you got to have integrity, and you got to love who you are, right? And you got to love to push for our people to be further in life, right? So stop the nonsense, right? And get real. Get real. Get real with who you are.
And with them gems, I appreciate y'all coming to 212 with me.
Appreciate you.
We wrapping up the 212 podcast, the inaugural episode of As the Ball Turns with nothing but great men. And I'm happy that I got y'all here, man. We wrapping this one up, baby.
Go ahead and give me a feeling I never felt before. And I know you might get lonely, it's you only I think about whenever I'm on tour. That's for sure. When I get home, you the first one I'ma phone and tell you pull up once more. Come and meet me at the door. Look here, baby, I know I ain't never had nobody show me all the things that you can show me in a special way. I feel when you hold me, we gon' always be together, baby. That's